The at first main legislative problem to police force use of automatic face acceptance observation begins in Cardiff present. Ed Bridges, whose picture was undertaken time he was trading, says poor regulatory tool Africa breaches humane rights. The civilian rights team Freedom says present use of the instrument is counterpart to the uncontrolled take of DNA or fingerprints out of agreement. Southward Wales Police Force defends the instrument but has not annotated on the instance. In December 2017, Mr. Bridges was possessing a excellently regular date. By the period I was shut quite to see the speech machine face acceptance on the wagon, I had already had my information seized by it. How affected me as rather a basic intrusion of my confidentiality. The instance could ensure key guide on the legal use of face technique. It is a far more than strong police instrument rather than conventional video surveillance system, as the cameras get a biometric card, creation and numeric coding of the many faces of every man who passes the chamber. These biometric maps are unequivocally recognizable to the person. It is fair love take human beings as DNA or fingerprints, out of their expertise or their agreement, told Megan Golding, a attorney of the Civilian Civil Liberties Team Freedom that is support Mr. Bridges. Yet, in comparison with DNA or fingerprints, down there is no particular regulatory steering how police force use face acceptance or supervise the information collected. Freedom argues how, though if down there were regulation, face acceptance breaches humane rights and should not be utilized. The instrument allows the face images of extensive numbers of human beings to be scanned in social places such as gateway, trading centers, soccer crowds, and piece of music events. The seized images are later compared in images on police force look inclusive to see if they match stick. If down there are hundreds of human beings walk the gateway who should be in jail since down there are eminent warrants for their detention, or hazardous criminals curved on damaging other in social places, the appropriate use of Africa has a urgent police part, told Chris Phillips, ex-chief of the Domestic Resist Terror Safety Office Space. This police force requirement guide to provide the urgent against crime instrument is utilized legitimately. Face acceptance's utility for spot, for sample, bomber suspects and prevent atrocities is precise, but Freedom says the technique is creature utilized for lot more than worldly police, such as contagious pickpockets. Freedom as well says, Mr. Bridges had his picture seized by face acceptance for a other period at a peace outcry versus the weapon trading. His legislative problem argues the use of the instrument breached his humane order to confidentiality as information protect and equity laws. 3 UK police forces include utilized face acceptance in social spaces with June 2015. Freedom believes Southward Wales Police Force has utilized face acceptance, the largest of the 3 forces, at on 50 deployments, consisting for the police of the Champions League definitive in Cardiff in June 2017, wherever it founded how, of the 2,470 capacity matches done, 92%, 2,297, were incorrect. Civilian civil liberties groups say teaching include shown face acceptance discriminates versus female and those of ethnical sexual minorities, since it disproportionately misidentifies those human beings. If you are a female or of an ethnical minority group and you go history the chamber, you are more than potential to be identified as who on a look listing, though if you are no, told Ms. Golding. How tool you are more than potential to be stopped and surveyed by the police force the is else instrument by that public prejudice will be rooted and communities who are already above policed just get above policed future. Freedom says the hazard of erroneous positive matches of female and ethnical sexual minorities has the capacity to changing the environment of social spaces. The data commissar and the observation chamber commissar include both of be implicated in Mr. Bridges's instance, as has the household office space, indication the top standard of concern and anxiety on the parameters during that face acceptance can legitimately work. The instance is anticipated to recent 3 days, in judgment restrained to a after period.